for YouTube tomorrow, I guess. All these companies are breaking all these contracts. All right. How's the sound? Can you hear me, Periscope viewers? Hi, Ebony. I don't know what's going on with all these companies, why they just can't all work together. I got a email the other day, and if it was the way I understood it to be, that YouTube would no longer be working with Periscope. Let me see if I can turn it up, if there's some problem here. No, it looks like it's all the way up on my side for Facebook. Someone said it's terrible, but it's all the way up. Can y'all hear me all right on Facebook? I don't know why you wouldn't be able to hear me. Can everybody hear me okay on Facebook? One person said it's not good. Let me know. Why are these reminders in here for 9:13 and 9:14? This is weird. I'm looking at YouTube, and for some reason it has reminders tonight. Not clear. Okay, let me just see if my Bluetooth is on. My Bluetooth is not on, so I don't understand how there could be any sound problems. It's good on my end. Okay, someone else says muffled, very low. I don't know how.
I think it's just when you're looking down that it gets muffled.
You think so?
Yeah, because when you look straight at the camera, they can hear you.
How are you hearing me now? Is it clearer now that I'm looking at the camera? Let me know how the sound is, because you're coming straight through my phone, and there should be no muffling. There shouldn't be a problem with anything. How about now, guys? How's the sound? I can hear. Thank you, Minister Brittany. It's still going, comes and goes? Yeah, they're still saying it's coming in and out. I don't know what any of that means. It's just too strange. They're saying okay now, but somebody else saying in and out. I don't know what y'all want me to do with this. Some people saying it's clear, some saying in and out, and someone else is just saying very low. I don't understand. I don't get it. I can hear you, but it's low. Have y'all checked y'all volume, just in case? Because mine is on maximum. Now you're good. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody else right underneath now you're good says no, still bad. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you want to go over to Periscope, because my volume is on max. So I don't understand how it could be any up and down. Sorry. In and out. May need to close and reopen. Yeah, I don't get that at all. Let me see. I don't think this is going to fit in here while we're on, but let me just see if this is going to help you out. How's the volume? Let me know how the volume is. How's the volume now, folks? I don't have an earpiece. I'm coming straight to my iPhone. How is it now with the headset in? Sounds good, Elder Terry? Shamaniac says it sounds good. Karen says great. D say awesome. Okay. I changed something here on my end with Periscope and YouTube, but it shouldn't. It's a completely different object with y'all. So I'll just keep this headset in. Let me check on my Periscope family. How are we doing? They're saying it's good. Good on both ends, Apostle. Fantastic.
You just changed.
If y'all can only see me now, right?
Yeah.
I'm showing y'all what you can come over here and organize for me. Because I want to get started. Tonight is hot.
There you go.
Tonight is hot. Camera's going back to find me again. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for bearing with me. All right. I don't know about y'all, but I did a lot of soul work today. And I think it's... Thank you, Ebony. I think it's fair to say I might be a little... I was going to go right for the jugular vein and say a little jacked up. But I think what the word is I'm very exposed right now. Very exposed. You can see much better. Is that what you're saying, Cheryl? Because I stopped using my iPad that has a crack on the camera and I'm using my phone. Me too, Cheryl. So Cheryl, are you saying that it's better or what? The visual? Hi, Renee. Only you, Karen. All right. I want to say it. You know, I want to say I'm jacked up today, but I don't know if jacked up is the right word. I just believe that the right word is I am exposed. I am open. I was doing my soul work today, and it's like I went there. I'm just going to check the camera with Periscope. Just bear with me if it goes black on y'all. It's going to come back. Just hold on, Periscope. I wanted to clean the lens. So y'all might go black for a moment.
Yeah.
Dust collects around here and you just never know. I feel vulnerable. Yes, we can hear and see you well. Good. All right. I think we're doing something now. So yeah, I was doing a lot of my soul work today, which I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you guys about this. The companion. I've been trying to put it in every single person's hand. I'm hoping it's in our hand. Man, I don't know. Here, Misha, I'll let you pull tonight. I'm going to share it with you, but I am just so, like, exposed. I guess that's the word I want to say. Vulnerable. You know, I think when you start digging, you might get a little touchy, a little sensitive, but it's all there working because, you know, you went to that place we talked about last night, the dark place, the place where it hurts, the place where you really don't want to go. But went there today, did a lot of my soul work, caught up on a lot of my soul work, and man, it's rough. It's rough. I don't know about y'all, but yeah, it's rough. So, our winner today, the name that was drawn is it Elia Hill? Elia Hill. Ellia, last name Hill. Elia Hill. Are you on? If you're on, please put on across the screen, I'm a winner, I'm a winner. And if y'all didn't put your name in, you know, and you're not on, I think if you're not on, I'm not going to even hold it for you. Because I've got some serious people that really want to go after the material and make some things happen, and then, you know, y'all not on, you know, 2 or 3 nights, you know, that kind of tells us that you kind of stage exit left. So why should we hold the material for you when you're not even on with us, you know? So we may have to make some exceptions to the rules because we need people who are on and happening with us. Are you on here tonight? And I believe your name is Elia Hill, Ellia Hill. Does anyone know Elia Hill? She won on January 13th. Again, she gets the reading material, the companion book, or the beautiful journals that we have. Beautiful journals. This one is probably my favorite now. This purple metallic, love it. But I do have the gold metallics left as well. So I don't know if y'all can really see it. But either way, they're hot. Trust me. All right. Now my screen is moving, which I did not want it to do. Yeah, it's not supposed to do that though. It's supposed to be locked. maybe I'll try to stop moving and it won't happen. But I switched over from my iPad, so now it's a little, no, that's what I want. There we go, I'll turn it off. Much better. All right, we're getting there. Let's go. Let's go. The gold one is very nice. It is. The purple is my favorite though, but the gold is nice. It will be on YouTube, but probably not until tomorrow because I have to find out what's going on with YouTube that they would not let me post it. It says on my screen here, reminder, but yet there's nothing up here happening. So I don't know what that is. I'll have to find out. So welcome. We're on now. We're going to keep it moving, and I'll make sure that I update it onto Facebook tomorrow. It's still doing its back and forth stuff. Keep it on the face. Stop moving. No, no, no. Lord have mercy. One day I'll have a sound person. I don't want it on 5 faces. I don't want it on that. Hold on, guys. I'm coming. We got a little action going on over here on Facebook. Thank you. We'll do that. I will take you up on it. Alright, I gotta get started. I can't keep messing around with this thing, but it just doesn't want to seem to stop. And it's supposed to be able to stop with this not find faces thing. And not this live follow. It's not supposed to be jarring all over the place. It's supposed to stay in one place. Don't want it on find faces. Look at all the beautiful hearts. Somebody's having a good time with all the hearts though. All right, let's go. Let's see where we want to go here. Deep, 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 deep. How many of y'all doing your homework? How many of y'all are doing your homework? Come on. Be honest. How many are doing your homework? I got this off on my phone, but I don't know how I can do it here. I'm supposed to be able to get it off wide. I don't want to keep hitting it all night. But how many of y'all doing your homework? I want to jump into our chapter. Did the litmus and the assessment. Good. But I don't want to also spend a lot of time, you know, on the homework part. Because we need to be adults about this. We need to be serious about this. And we need to get our work done. We really do. All right, well, y'all gonna be a little distracted looking at a big view. I didn't want y'all to have to deal with that, but for some reason I can't seem to turn it off. Okay, maybe I just did. It's gonna pop back and we're moving. There we go. Now let's hope it stays there for a little while at least. All right, guys. I wanted to talk to you about the homework today. Let's just catch up real quick on a good overview. Hi, Deja. Coming from the companion book, I want to talk to you for a moment. And I want to just go over a couple things that I need you to get done. Homework has been a process. Memories. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know you're telling the truth. Absolutely it. So with chapter 1, what we started going through was he talks about on page 3 of the companion, the good old days. And one of the homework assignments is, thank you, Cheryl, you are awesome. One of the homework assignments is to finish your work. And the first one says, I remember a particular time when I was especially happy. If you don't have this, yeah, it's going to the juggler. That's a good point. If you don't have this companion book, write this down tonight. I'm just going to go through the questions quickly, and I'm not going to share my side of this, but once we get to the reading material, I'm going to go ahead and share my feelings on it. But the first part of homework that you should see on the blog and that you should have been emailed about says, first question, and you have to finish the question. I remember a particular time when I was especially happy, and it was what? It was blank. It was blank. I remember a particular time when I was especially happy, and it was when? Come on, let's pick up our defining moments. And then sometimes I feel really excited, but one time that stands out is when? Is when. Sometimes I feel really excited, but one time that stands out is when. That's what we want to deal with. The third question says, I remember times when a person said something to me or treated me in such a way that it made a positive difference in my life. And one of those times was when? These are your soul work. That's the third question. Go back to replay it so that you can answer these questions. Number 4, a time when I felt really special to someone was when I was what? Was when I was what? When was there a time when you felt really special to someone? When was it? There was a time, there was a moment. There was absolutely a moment, and that moment right there is what we want to look for. We want to look for that defining moment. Do you know when it was? When were you allowed to feel really special in someone's life? Let me continue on to the next question. When I got the job offer for a job recently, very good. Number 5, when I was younger, I always wanted to what? What was it something that you wanted to do when you were younger? Number 6, what I desire most deeply is to what? What I desire most deeply is to, and you fill it in. 7th question for your homework is, if I could be or do anything I wanted to do, I would what? If I could be or do anything I wanted to do, what would it be? What would it be? What would you challenge yourself to be? If you could be anything, what would it be? This thing gonna have these folks having seizures if it don't calm down. What would it be? All right, let's go. I used to dream about myself as, number 8. I used to dream about myself as what? If I could learn anything, I would choose to learn what? What would you choose to learn if you could learn anything? If you could do anything, what would it be? What did you dream about? I used to dream about myself as what? That's number 8. Number 9, if I could learn anything, I would choose to learn what? If I could learn anything, I would choose to learn, and you fill it in. Number 10, what interests me most is, and name at least 5 interests. What interests me most is, and name 5 interests. This is all on the blog, but I'm reading it tonight to make it clearer for you because we need this stuff done. 11, when I fantasize about myself, when I fantasize about myself, I am, what is it? 12, I wish people would see me as blank. 12, number 12, I wish people would see me as. Number 13, before my life is over, I want to, come on, share some dreams. Before my life is over, I want to what? Number 14, if I could, I would dedicate my life to what? If I could, I would dedicate my life to, what is that? My secret desire always has been to, this answer for me was really rough because I had to be really honest. And then when I was honest, I really spent some time thinking, am I being honest here? Or am I thinking of something that's been on my mind because of situations that made me feel I needed to be this way? Do you get what I'm saying? Like the way I answered the question, if this book was open to a lot of people, it may hurt their feelings of what my secret desire has always been to be. But then I had to rethink about, is it really what I want, or is it because of all of life's situations? So am I answering it with my authentic self, or am I still basing this answer on all the circumstances that would make me feel that my secret desire has always been to what? So think, because you may still be answering from that place that is not authentic. Then there was the litmus test, and it was 6 questions. This was the short one. And it says, I am constantly tired, stressed, emotionally flat, or even depressed, worried, and unhappy. 1 for never, 2 for sometimes, 3 for often, 4 is always. I'm not going to repeat it. You got to watch the replay. Number 2, my life includes things I profess to hate, but I continue to do them anyway. 1 to 4, answer it. My life is dominated by anxiety and worry, but I'm not doing anything to change it. Answer it. 1 to 4. My mind has gotten dull, and I don't give much time to new ideas or possibilities. Answer that one on a scale from 1 to 4. My emotions are marked by cynicism, apathy, hopelessness, and a lack of optimism. Answer that 1 through 4. And then the last one, I am choosing and behaving in ways that are based on what I think others expect or want. And answer that 1 through 4. And yeah, they are very intense questions, and they really made me take a breather. And there are only 6 of them, very direct. 1 means never, 2 means sometimes, 3 means often, and 4 means always. And once you add up all of your 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s, and you get your total, you have to figure out what the diagnosis is on the bottom. And I believe it's going to be very correct. And then on the next page, it talks about, what do you want? What do you want? A lot harder to think about than said, but what do you want? And there's a check mark that you have to put across this list of things you want. There's room to add more. And then there's an asterisk if you would give your life for it. There's a circle if you would sacrifice a lot for it. There's a hashtag if you would go through enough trouble to get it. And then there is a dot if you wouldn't do much to have this at all. Let's get to know your self-concept, who you are, and where it came from. I'm moving fast because I just want to go over this to help those who still cannot do their soul work. Then on page 10, talks about the journal exercise. And the journal exercise says, let's see if we can get a more specific picture of where you want to be in the future. And it says, number 1, one of the things I hope to find out about myself is blank. Number 2, I need to know why I blank. And number 3, in my relationships, I want or don't want to share what? And number 4, this time next year, I'd like my job to be, fill in the blank. By the time I finish this workbook, I would like to be able to go forth. I know that's what I want. Sum it up. Take a minute to put in writing what you've rediscovered about yourself in the preceding exercises. These were 1 through 5. When you replay them, write them down. In a short paragraph, describe the you that is beginning to emerge. Describe the you that is beginning to emerge. Chapter 2 talks about defining the authentic self. We're coming from the companion version now for your soul work. The best me. Find words that seem to you to describe yourself in each of the following ways. Intellectually, I am what? Spiritually, I am what? Words that define you. Physically, I am what? And emotionally, I am fill in the blanks. And then I'd ask you to name our heroes, our 5 heroes. These may be people in your family or community, a mentor or pastor, someone in the news, or someone whose names lives on in history. Name all 5. All 5. And then the authenticity scale is where we wrap up, I believe, chapter 2 with the congruency test. It's a circle of words. They want to know the words of what you believe yourself to be now, where you like to be. And then there's some math work to determine where you are averaging at with the person and the place that you'd like to be. And then the question is asked, what's holding you back? Are you beginning to see how the world has distracted you from your unique individual potential and core self? And then go down to the bottom. So let's face the boogeyman and get him out into the light of day. Assume that you will have fear. Let's take it apart. What fears have kept you from changing in the past? What kind of fear do you expect to feel when you change? In the spaces provided below, respond to these 2 questions as they relate to the key word I've provided. Remember that this exercise is for your eyes only. Be as specific and honest as you know to be. So respond to these questions. Yep, he's going to give us 1 word, and then we're going to respond in them. On what's holding you back. For family. Next one, God. Next one, children. Next one, spouse. Next one, friends. And the last one, your job. How are these things holding you back? What kind of fear do you expect to feel when you change? What fears have been holding you back? So in these words that we've given you today, respond to these questions as they relate to the key word we've provided. Remember that this exercise is for your eyes only, so be honest. That was deep. And he says, then look through what you've just written. What common themes do you see? Fear of losing, not being loved, not being respected, fear of failure, or aging. The fears that you are bringing out into the open here do not have to continue to hold you back. In fact, I'm telling you that you will be immersed in a series of challenges as you work through this book, and they will demand a commitment of heart and soul. Make that commitment right now. Trust me, you will never regret it. So think about it. You've just taken another big step towards understanding where you are and where you could be. Take a moment right now to look back over the questions in this section and answers you gave to them. After you've done this, consider what new insights you have gained in the process. In the space below, write a paragraph about what you've discovered. I've gone through a lot. And I see Pastor D made a comment that she's going through a lot too. And then chapter 3 is where we are now, and it begins to talk about your self-concept. And it says, I am very good when I think of myself as being, I think my body is, I am happiest when my greatest strengths are, I am best in situations that, I think I could be what, I fear what keeps me from being what I really want is, in the future I blank. What keeps me going is, no one knows that I blank. If I describe myself as a plant, such as a tree or flower, I would be. If I describe myself as a car, I would be. If I describe myself as an animal, I would be which? And you may have found these exercises fun, or you may have found it challenging. Maybe you got a charge out of thinking of your strength or imagining your future. Maybe you don't usually spend a lot of time thinking of yourself at all. That's okay. Each of these phrases above give you an opportunity to tune in to more of your self-concept. That's the purpose of them. There's a purpose. Now, let me see if I'm going to stop right here from this book, because this is where, yeah, these are going to get a little more, matter of fact, let me give you this now, because depending on how far we get through in the lesson, I want to at least make sure I give you this homework. This is a homework, the soul work that we have to finish for tonight. Who do you think that I am? Who do you think that I am? This is a fascinating and enlightening exercise that takes a little courage and some effort, but offers enormous rewards in terms of learning how you appear to the world. Select 5 people whom you know and whom have some knowledge of you. These should be people you trust as individuals. 5 people that you know and trust as individuals. You may select a friend, your spouse, your children, your parent, a person at work, another family member, or even a former teacher. What you are going to do is conduct a brief interview with you as the subject of the conversation. This does not have to be face to face. It can be done over the phone or even through the internet. The goal is to gather feedback in a non-defensive way about how you come across to other people. Are you all ready? You said we can go deep sea last night. You will be asking people to lend you a little assistance that takes very little time and no preparation on their side. Most people are more than willing to participate if asked. Here's a few ground rules for you to observe. Number 1, try to record as much as you can from this experience. If you conduct your interview orally, you may think you'll remember what is said and how it is said, but you won't. Memory is a slippery thing, especially if you feel embarrassed or flustered. Ask them even if you can record it, so that you can really hear the words that they had used and chosen. Rule number 2, please do not try to argue with the person, especially if the individual says something good, but also in the case of some negative elements. You can believe it or believe it not. Just listen and consider the information. Yep, it's about to get real. Last rule, number 3, commit yourself to taking responsibility for the information you gather. There's nothing worse than asking someone for an opinion and then holding it against them in some ways. If you're going to do this interview and benefit from it, you have to play fear. Here's a possible script that you're going to take to 5 people. I am doing a Dr. Phil course from Suzanne Howard's Soul Detox on how to be more successful in my life. And I would like you to give me a little honest feedback on how I come across at times. I want to ask you about 10 questions. These are all phrased in a positive way because I need to know my strengths and my weaknesses. I want you to tell me what you think and then give me a concrete example if you think of one. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, but this would be important and helpful for me to know. And then in the workbook, it gives you space for 10 people's comments. They can write right in the book, or if you're on the phone with them or you're re-listening to the audio, then you can go in and fill it. The first person would ask, please describe something that I am constantly doing well. Please name one thing you have seen me do well. Please tell me the best thing about how I look. In as much detail as possible, can you remember any time that I seemed to be happiest? Number 5, tell me what you think my strongest traits are. 6, if you were going to describe my best strengths with 3 words, what would those 3 words be? 7, if you were in a situation in which you thought I could help you in some way, what would that situation be? Number 8, can you tell me any aspect you respect about me? I see the old boys on the screen. Number 9, if you had to describe me as a car, what kind of car would I be and why? And lastly, number 10, If you had to describe me as an animal, what kind of animal would I be and why? And there's places for 10, did I say 5 interviews, 10 questions? 5 interviews, 10 questions. Yeah, we're going to go deep. Do you really want to know how you appear to the world? How it may be contrary to how you feel on the outside? How you may be bodacious on the outside and an introvert on the inside? Or you may be bodacious on the inside with your self-talk, you know, all the conversations you have on the inside, but on the outside, you come across as really just, you know, shy, passive, inconsistent, unreliable, but not knowing on the inside, you do not mean to be that way, but it's all of the unstable thinking and inconsistent facts about yourself that you've heard and perceived and which have now taken root in your life. So 5 people, 10 questions. Remember, they could be family, teachers, pastors, your children, your spouse, former whomever's in your life. And you can tell them again, here is your script for you to use. I am doing a Dr. Phil course with Suzanne Howard on Soul Detox on how to be more successful in my life. And I would like you to give me a little honest feedback on how I come across at times. I want to ask you about 10 questions. These are all phrased in a positive way because I need to know my strengths, not my weaknesses. I want you to tell me what you think and give me a concrete example. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, but this would be important and helpful for me to know. Can't wait to do it. All right. Very good. Let me see some of the comments. Periscope, are y'all on? Yeah. Let me hit my own hearts. What's happening over there? Okay, Periscope. Thank you, Demisha. Where y'all at? Latanya and Vanessa. Come on, where you at? Tasha. I can't see whose face this one is. Who's this beautiful face? Maria.
Everybody fainted.
Oh, they fainted. Okay, Misha said everybody fainted. Where's the hearts? Y'all mad at me? Got to do the work. Reality check. Those questions about when was I the happiest is hard, besides when I had my children. And that's what a lot of women that I talked about today talked about. They were saying a lot of defining moments were based around their children. And we've got to be more than mothers. We weren't born mothers, not with living children. So we've got to find more about ourselves than that. Let's see. I can't wait. This homework is so deep. Wow, this is really going in. I need the companion. Yes, you do. This homework is deep. Do I really want to know? Exactly. This is real. This is deep. Love it. I want to know. Wow, wow, wow. Apostle, I need this book, please. Putting myself in the hot seat. Good stuff. Shining the light on stuff tonight. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Let's go. Let's go. But we need this. We absolutely need this. And it would be good to hear this from those. I kind of do something similar in my teams at my ministry. When I'm training new leaders to come up, we kind of go around the table and share something that nobody knew about you and would probably be surprising. So we're going to stop there as far as the homework goes, because that's going to take you probably about a good week. But what I'm asking for you to sincerely do it, because you know what I'd like for that person to do? I want you to share with me at the live broadcast on March, I think that 2nd is Saturday. On March 2nd, I want you to join me at Goodwin College. March 2nd is a Saturday. I want you to join me at Goodwin College, and I want you to come forward from within the live studio audience, and I want you to sit with me on stage, and I want you to tell me the most meaningful interview you had from your 5 defining people and why. And I want you to tell me why. Because remember, we're working it down to 10 defining moments, 7 critical choices, 5 pivotal people. So we've got a few minutes left. We caught up on our homework for this chapter, and let's get to where I need to be. The life chain. The life chain. I know y'all might not be able to keep up tonight because I'm really trying to make up time, but do me a favor, #replay, and do your work. If you don't have the companion, if you go back over the replay, just write the questions on each page of your journal. Just write the heading. Just keep it moving and write the heading. And as you get through the week, you can take the time to go through each and every one of those. But I will have some companions. People are asking me to buy them. They're saying, I have the money, I just can't find them, or I don't have an Amazon account, or whatever it may be. We will have some at our church office on Wednesday. I think some will be in on Tuesday, but definitely all of them will be in on Wednesday, and they'll be available for purchase for those that just want to go ahead and purchase. They will be there on Wednesday. But, you know, again, I believe we've taken care of everyone who's asked for one that said they were in a financial crisis and they promised to do their work. And I hope y'all know what a promise means. That means I need you to send in evidence. And then after the 30 days, we're going to talk about some of these, make some free sessions, see if you want to get involved and become a client of mine and work through this individually on your own, so that when we meet and we can do this together on the phone, we can really zero in specifically on you. Very good. Let me go. The life chain. Since I'm about to ask you to write down the defining moments in your life, I might as well give you a head start. One of the most powerful outcomes determining circumstances that you will ever experience in your life has already happened, and you inherited it. You were not consulted and you had no choice in the matter, yet it was a huge deal. I guarantee it. Before you rack your brain too hard trying to figure out what could be so important, just think about the fortuitous nature of where you were born. What family you were born into, like Peyton goes, tsh, what family you were born into and who you grew up around. In other words, without question, a defining moment of overwhelming significance for you was the moment of your birth. You didn't get a vote. It just happened. One day, there you were. All of the choosing was done for you. Even as you grew up, you probably didn't have any idea that life offered you anything other than what you were already living. You simply became part of a long chain, its links consisting of your parents, your grandparents, and your siblings. All you had, all you knew, all you had available to you was what your parents, siblings, and extended family and life station offered up to you. Consider the momentum that this chain created, the messages and expectations that pass from one link to the next in your family line. Through all the generations, that chain sealed much of the fate that was to be yours. For example, if you grew up with a mother and father who believed that they and therefore you and the rest of the family were all second-class citizens who should keep their heads down, their mouths shut, and by all means not make waves, you probably learned to just be glad that you were permitted to be even in this world. Bottom line, you may well have initially adopted a self-concept that was largely determined by the blind luck of the draw. You did not have the slightest choice about the links in your life chain, at least not until you picked up this broadcast. But you do not have a choice, but you do have a choice in them now. The choice looks to the future and not the past. I feel I broke the chain. Well, we're going to find out. You're going to find out. You are an active player, a contaminator in this drama, because like all people, you internalize your experiences. You internalize information, data, and experience in such a way that your concept of self is either confirmed or altered. At first, the forces are impacting you only from the outside, but almost instantaneously you begin to think about and interpret what is happening out there. Once you assign a meaning, once you integrate it into your thinking, come on, we're going to our conscience now, you make its impact all the more powerful. Your perceptual navigation system, PNS system. You have a PNS system, perceptual navigation system. with its guiding compass and screening radar, starts to steer you exclusively in the direction that is consistent with what you already think. Obviously, your existing life chain is a huge programmer of what your radar will pick up. You scan information consistent with what your life chain has taught you about you and your possibilities or lack thereof. For example, if you get fired and interpret that as a personal failure, you will now internalize that perception and be more inclined to pick up other failure type messages. You'll be less inclined to pick up success type messages. Your radar goes into confirm only mode as it scans the landscape of your life, looking for information that will make you right, even if it makes you unhappy. Come on. You will begin to scan and look for facts, look for information that will make you right, even if that right makes you unhappy. Can somebody drop a mic for me? Where you at, Karen? Because that's deep. How many of y'all know we do that? I've talked to some of y'all this year who lost jobs, who relationships ended. And the first thing we do is we begin to look for a pattern in ourselves. And we look for information to back up our feelings. We look for information to back up our feelings, and then we go with it even if it makes us unhappy. Because it's better for us to be unhappy than anyone else. Very good. Let me move up, page 95. You don't have to just mindlessly go along with this life chain. You have both inherited and passively contributed to, Mike's dropping. You can begin to shape its links, like Renee was saying. Actively and consciously, you need the tools. You need guidance on where to start and what to do. But with a little help, you can do it. You are worth it, and you can do it. I want to start providing you with that help by looking at how the world gets inside your head, how it changes your self-concept from a solid, authentic self-regard to a less confident, less focused image and belief about yourself. Let's look at how you conspire with the world to create changes in how you see yourself at your most core level. Let's also take a hard look at what links are in your existing life chain. Once you've done those things, once you've found your way back to the you that has been buried under a mound of world experiences and self-pounding, hang on. Hang on, because you aren't going to believe what is about to happen in your life as you claim the power of refining your personal truth, knowledge, and personal power. That's a lot. That's a lot. It may seem like a lot of reading, but it was actually way more information just hitting our information system. And now, let me go. We got a couple minutes left. Oh, okay, I guess we got on a little late, so we're good. And rid all of the junk and misinformation that you have internalized for so many years. You soon will know exactly how to do just that. I have often said, you either get it or you don't. It's time for you to get it. Part of getting it is coming to realize that if you are currently deciding who and what you are, based on where you have been and what messages and results you have accumulated, you are always living with a backward focus. You are always living with a backward focus. How are you always living with a backward focus? Because what you are currently deciding, who and what you are, is based on where you have been and what messages and results you have accumulated. Then you are living with a backwards focus. I'm getting it. Good, good, good. Somebody else fell out. That's all right. We got replay. Fall out. Our focus, let's pull it together now. Our focus in these teachings will include a look back into your history, but only for the purpose of targeting for elimination the distorting experiences of your past. See, we're not going and digging in mess just to open it up. But we have to go back into this history because we have to target it. We have to process it like computer virus software. We have to find the virus so that we can contaminate the virus and get it out of the workings of your system. Only for the purpose of targeting for elimination the distorting experiences of your past. Yeah, this is good. It's tearing me up all day. Come on. Your future is a place and time of much greater interest to me as I work to impact your concept of self and your experiences in life. It is the forward-looking view that affords you great power, not the rear-looking view. Because that is where you can create so much more. So much that it's authentically you. Right now, I will guarantee you that you are spending too much life energy worrying over and being controlled by what has already happened in your life. I've got to finish this, and I don't want to overdo time tonight, but this part right here is going to seal the deal on tonight's teaching. I gave y'all homework for about 20 or 30 minutes and went over it in depth with you. You've got a lot of work to do. Stop hanging out this week and this month. Shut down all the extracurricular activities. Hit your gym. Do what you have to do to get your healthy food in your house and buckle down and let's work on the slate of you, the soul of you. Because this time next week, this time next month, this time next year, you better not be where you were when you started this on January 2nd. Because we worked hard together. We were transparent, vulnerable, consistent, accountable, responsible. We've got to finish this work that we've begun. Listen, it's the forward-looking view that affords you great power because that is where you can create so much more, so much that it is authentically you. Right now, I will guarantee you that you are spending too much life energy worrying over and being controlled by what has already happened in your life. Let me read this in my closing for you. As with a rocket taking off from Cape Canaveral, everything you see trailing behind the flame, the smoke, and the steam, everything that is behind the rocket is considered spent energy. And I want to see every single one of y'all put this on the screen. Spent energy. This is something I want to hear in our conversations, in our consultations, in my coaching with you. When we meet on March 2nd and we pull off our mask and we become our authentic selves, I want you to know that word inside and out. Come on, Periscope. Spent energy. S-P-E-N-T energy. Come on, it's easy. Spent energy. Come on, Periscope. Wake up, y'all. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Spent energy. Vanessa, Eagle Vision, Glory. Come on. Come on. Let me shake you up again. Come on, Mima. Spent energy. Let's go. I want you to understand. Come on, Twin Shares. Come on, Audrey H. I want you to see some. Y'all trying to take notes when you know you're going to have to replay this. Come on, Anna. Come on, Celine. Okita, Sylvia, Hope, Destiny, Jerry, Christine. Spent energy. You have so much spent energy that it has depleted your bank account. Let me read it. No more looking back, because looking forward is where you can create so much more. As with a rocket taking off from Cape Canaveral, everything you see trailing behind the flame, the smoke, the steam, everything that is behind you, everything that is behind this rocket is considered spent energy. Spent energy has no value. Spent energy has no value. Come on, T. Daly. It got you where you are, but it's of absolutely no value in the here and now. It's over. It's done. That is spent energy. It got you where you are, good or bad, but where you go from here is up to you. It doesn't matter what the links in your chain have been. It doesn't matter what the tail on the rocket was or wasn't. The only time is now, and the only choice is yours. I'm not just going to tell you to be free of your past. That's no big news flash. What I am going to do is help you identify exactly and precisely what specific past experiences have had that effect on you. I am then going to show you precisely how you can deal with those experiences in the here and now in such a way as to take your power back. Then and only then will you be able to stop being a passenger in your life and start driving and driving with passion. That's why I don't like when Christians say that God is my pilot. You know, God is my co-pilot. He gave us power, gave us authority, gave us dominion, gave us the keys, gave us life, gave us breath. I don't know what else he needs to do. Why does he still need to drive? You need to be the driver and not the passenger in your life. And you need to start driving with passion. Come on, what about that spent energy, y'all? That was absolutely deep to me, because of everything that it takes to get this rocket to take off, if all of it has to fall off because it has no purpose in the next levels of where the rocket has to go. It's all spent energy. It's all the forces that it took to get the rocket where it had to go, but it could not go with the rocket. What were some of the things? What was some of your spent energy that you're keeping attached to you if you were that rocket that should not be going in the second and third dimensions with you? What is it that was there to start out with you, but she's not growing with you, he's not growing with you, and you're trying to drag them along? It's exhausting you, it's killing your passion, it's depleting you, it's killing your purpose. You don't even know if you can even do it anymore because you're not around people that add to you. You're with people who are consuming from you. It's spent energy. Get a garbage can or a mug and put some Post-it notes on it or tape across it and said spent energy, and write your list of spent energy in your journal. And then start writing them on bits of pieces of paper and ball it up and throw it in that little cup or that trash can. Spent energy. These are the things that were with me, and they had purpose and they had use and they had priority, but they were spent energy. They were there to shoot me off to my next level, my next destination, my next dimension, my next phase in life, my next journey. You know, hanging with single girlfriends when you get married doesn't always work. Hanging with women who do not have children when you have children responsible, it doesn't always work. Now, some of them, they can go with you on it. Some cannot. You will have to determine what and who is the spent energy around you that's contaminating you versus those who are adding to you. That's a lot of work right there. Spent energy. All the things that's from your past, all the links, grandma, great-grandma, mom, dad, siblings, all of those, all the things that it took to get you here into the earth and to get you to a certain age was all spent energy. But how much of it is still attached to you as a rocket that you will never make it to outer space or to the planet you need to land on or the moon, because you're carrying spent energy with you to a place that they're not purposed for. Consuming or contributing. Spent energy is not contributing. That was deep. I don't know how y'all got through that, but that messed me up today. Especially if you're a people pleaser. Well, we just finished up to page 97. We finished chapter 3, which helps us really good because it is now the 13th of January. 3, 6, 9, 12. So we really got to knock out 3 chapters this week in order to finish this book in time, I believe. I'll have to look at it. 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah. We need to do at least a good 3 chapters a week. And these chapters were the most defining. Now I'm going to close this way with y'all tonight. We were going over defining moments. And I was telling my husband today when we were cooking, I said, you know what defining moment I just remembered? I said, when I was pushed in a swimming pool. To this day, I will have nothing to do with depths of water. I love the beach. but I just love the beach. That's about all our relationship is. It's a love affair from a distance. I would never go on a cruise. A couple of reasons why: the issues I have with germs and all that stuff on the boat, but mainly, first and foremost, is because it's out on depths of water. Won't happen. And I didn't realize how fearless I was up until that moment when I was pushed in the swimming pool. I would go to my cousin's house and I would get in the water. I had learned to swim underneath water. No one showed me, no one taught me. I was adventurous. I would ride my bike from Hartford, Blue Hills Avenue, to Bloomfield, past Blue Hills Extension, every day by myself, fearless. Wasn't afraid of traffic, wasn't afraid of anyone trying to get me or any bullies or any men or anything. I rode my bike there and back. She had a swimming pool. We played out in her yard. I was teaching myself how to swim. All of a sudden, with a big group come over there, her older brothers, friends, they decided to throw me in the water. Now, before that, I did not fear the water because I did not know that the water could hurt me, because I was learning the water and building a trust with the water and swimming in the water, and me and the water was becoming one. We was doing our thing. It was good. But when they threw me in the water, the fact that I wasn't prepared to land in the water, the fact that my mind was afraid, was I going to hit the deck? Was I going to hit my head on something? That when I hit the water, I wasn't ready for it, and I became petrified over the water. To that day, I would really, if ever, get in water again. And I also realized that, like Minister Leah pointed out, and that's probably where your fear of water came from. Like, duh, I never thought about that, but that's absolutely right. But worse than that, remember we learned on last night that a lot of the scars from physical damage actually has a scar, but a lot of the psychological and physiological damage is on the inside, and we cannot see it with bruises and marks and cuts. That's when fear entered my life, I believe, at its strongest at least. Because I didn't have the boogeyman issues. I wasn't afraid to go places alone. I had gone on an airplane to California by myself, I think at 11 or 12 years of age. At 10 years of age, I took a train from Hartford to Washington, D.C. to meet my sister by myself, saved up my own money from a paper route. Before that, I went to upstate New York at the age of 8, lived with an uncle in upstate New York. I would go up there for summers. No fear, absolutely no fear. And I realized what shut me down, what stopped me, was that day that I was thrown into the pool. It was more than just being in the water. That definitely caused a fear in me, but it hindered me in so many ways because it made me open up my mind. It was almost similar to how I think of what happened to Adam and Eve when they bit the apple. That once this one thing happened, it triggered so many other things in their life. So I thought that the water was good or safe and fun. And what I thought was safe and fun, I would ride my bike over to go do every day. I wasn't doing it anymore because I didn't trust myself anymore. Ooh, come on, y'all. I didn't trust my own opinion anymore because I thought the water was safe. I didn't know that the water in the pool could cause any fear or damage in me. And when I found out, I started being suspect over everything. Fear in everything. Second guessing everything. A second thought before I do anything. That was a defining moment. And then, Minister Lee, again, it's crazy how you need to interview people because they know a little bit more about your defining moments than you if you share your life stories with anyone. And then she began to remind me how when I was a little girl, I told the story in church. I jumped off a second floor in our house and all the things that happened. And it made me again think that when I did jump off that second floor, how I was treated afterwards. And all those things have become defining moments. There's even another one I have that's way too personal to share on this kind of broadcast. But it was a sexual thing that happened to me by some girls when I was younger. And it came to me today why I have an issue with certain things because of what that moment defined for me in my life. This is how deep these things can go. And if you have the book, the author, Dr. Phil himself, even shared how he had gotten bullied and he began to fight back. And the school ended up in an amazing fight on the playground. And he knew his teacher knew him, that he was a good student. He wasn't a troublemaker. He helped other kids who were being bullied or picked on. And when he was getting in trouble in the principal's office, he knew this teacher was going to come in and defend him and speak on his behalf. Instead, the teacher came in and blasted him. He said verbally abused him worse than anything he'd ever received for a verbal lashing in his life. That to this day, see, y'all, stop thinking that people are perfect. He admits that to this day, to the writing of that book at least, he has a problem trusting leadership. This is Dr. Phil, whose great friend is Oprah, who's an author, has a TV show on TV every week. And he's telling us that he has a problem with leadership. He said that was a defining moment for him when his teacher betrayed him and then treated him so harshly. To this day, he has a problem trusting leadership. And he notices that on his 5 list of heroes, he puts real teachers or true teachers, because he knows there's some out there, but he has issues with teachers now on how they handle children. Defining moments. Stuff that we don't think about and talk about every day, but you have to take the time and sit down and write them. And I was choked up today. I forgot about so many things, especially the sexual thing that happened. And another young lady wrote in and explained the sexual thing she saw with female to female growing up, that though she's not in a female to female relationship, she is bothered by these thoughts every day. They're attacking her mind every day. And she didn't understand why they were bothering her, because they were embedded in her self-concept by what she witnessed in her home growing up, that now she questions, is she lesbian? Is her marriage failing and having trouble because she's gay? Self-concept. Facts don't back it up, but the concept of self is still there. And I've got to write in my journal tonight and finish mine, because I totally forgot about an issue that happened to me with some females sexually and how it affected my sex life in a certain area when I got older. I never put the pieces together until today. These are the defining moments that affect us in our adult life, and we haven't given them one iota of thought. But guess what? They were there waiting, just waiting for us to touch it, waiting to come out, to be exposed and to be getting rid of, so that we can get these things in the contaminated box where they belong. Well, I pray that you've gotten free tonight. I know today was tough for me. I think I'm going to sleep very well, if at all, tonight, because I'm just blown away. I've got work to do. I've got work to do. And I'm excited about it. I'm nervous about it. But more than anything, I am overwhelmed with the curiosity of what this is going to free me of in my life. Next year, I may have my own TV show, because I won't be afraid anymore. Come on. Somebody talk to me. Where is it that you want to be next year? Where is it that you want to go next year? But these hidden secrets, these secrets that have made us sick, stagnated us, suffocated us, caused fear in us, caused us to have these sick thoughts, that you can't share with anyone. I have bestiality thoughts. I have gay and lesbian thought. I have thoughts of murder. I've had a young lady come to me and told me that she gets thoughts of killing her kid, and she loves her kid. She doesn't know what's wrong with her. And just in a few conversations, she realized by talking of some things that adults have done to her when she was little, that she felt she deserved it. So because her self-concept was this way about herself, it began to want to portray and work out down her, what do we call it? The chain? What's the word? Down the life chain. It wanted to repeat itself down the life chain. And I told her, we break that today. And we're not just going to do it in a spiritual way. You are going to fully acknowledge where this came from. I've got to get you to be convinced of what this is, so that we can stop it in your life now. Because she was embarrassed of her thoughts, but she was so afraid that she was going to do it, she had to share it. Ooh, Lord have mercy. I've got to go. I hope y'all are right. I pray for you. I'm going to pray earnestly for you tonight. We've got to exhale, but we've got to dig in. We've got to expose that devil that's living on the inside of us through words and experiences in our soul. That's right. Come on. Rabbi, Pastor Wayne Carter is even sharing. This is deep stuff, man, that we were told to forget, made to forget, or time just pushed it back in our life, and other traumas or great life experiences took its place. But it's still there, guys. I used this as a explanation last year, that if we had a balloon, and let's see, all these names of people who won, right? We had a balloon, and we wrote down everything that's in your self-concept, and we wrote them all on bits of paper, and we stuffed them all in a balloon, and then we filled the balloon with, what is that, hydrogen? What do you fill the balloons with?
Helium.
The helium. If you fill the balloons with helium, all this stuff would be floating around the balloon, just floating around, floating around, floating around. That's what all of this unkept, undealt with, unconfessed, not talked out, not allowing yourself to get some truth on. This is what it does in your soul all day long. It just floats around in helium all day long and waiting to be dealt with. And we just keep mashing it down and mashing it down and mashing it down, because either we think no one wants to hear it. The number one thing that I hear from people is, I'm too embarrassed. Even in the emails, I'm embarrassed. I'm too embarrassed to say it. I'm too embarrassed to share it. The phone calls, the testimonies. But that's going to keep you hostage. Let's say it. Let's put a word to it. Let's get an expression to it, and let's get it out. Pray for us all, because we're doing a wonderful work. I had a quick inbox from someone before I came online, and they were sharing that they had to go clean out their house where their mother lived. And while they were cleaning it, they found the picture of the uncle who molested them. And they said it was a rough day for them, because not only is all this responsibility being dumped on them to handle this, they're finding things from their past. Thank God we're on this together, that she can spend these next, what do we got? We're on day 12. The next, 11 days? How many days we got? 18 days? 19 days together? We can spend 19 days to help her get through this defining moment and get free from the rape of her uncle. I was 50 years old before I could say that I was smart. You know what, Pastor Wayne, and you're dead on, because even in the book that I didn't have time to read tonight, got to get the book, guys. Dr. Phil talks about how horrible his experiences was with leadership and teachers in school. And he shared a story that Oprah told him, that her experience was completely different, that they built her up and they encouraged her, and she was ahead of her homework, and she was the talk of the school. But even though the teachers bragged about her in the teachers' lounge, the students were upset with her and pretty much jealous of her. But how she used it in order to start her life on the road that she's on, how she was able to get her TV show started when they called her fat, when they called her black, when they called her unintelligent, when they called her she was too overweight for all these things that's listed in the book that he said she wrote herself. It would have stopped her if she didn't have the great teaching leadership that she had to become who she is today. Well, I've got to go. I know we're over time, but I had to get us to the point where you have to learn spent energy. And it's time for us to release the spent energy so that we can go into places we've never seen, never even imagined, but always dreamed. I love you all. I pray your strength. Email me your testimonies. Continue emailing your stories. Please visit the website for the assessments, www.suzannemhoward.com. The email address is info@suzannemhoward.com. My God, Pastor Wayne, I'd love to hear it. Release the spent energy. Please tag someone in this page, put it in their messenger page. Let them know we're on for the month of January every night at 9 p.m. And let's go, our affirmation and our prophetic word over ourselves. I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. God bless you, and good night, and thank you for your time.